Hey there. Thanks for joining me. My name is RJ Valio, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about Scrum, what it's like being a Scrum Master, some anti-patterns I've run into, and then the most exciting news of all, some updates to the Scrum Guide that came out in 2020, November 2020 to be exact. All right, so first of all, great to be here. Thanks for joining me. I love Scrum. It's one of those things that was life-changing when I discovered it. It really helped me change the way that I felt about work in general. I'm not lying. And I'll tell you why. Scrum has 5 core values that are the tent poles of the philosophy, because it really is a philosophy. It's not just a way to do work. It's a way to continuously improve, and it's not just about getting better at like what you do. It's about getting better and constantly being a better person and constantly leveling up the way that you are authentically yourself, right? Why do I say this? That's what I see, right? As a Scrum Master and a Scrum coach, what I've seen is that the more teams are self-aware and the more that they are transparent, the more successful that they're going to be. If the team breaks into factions, then you're not going to have success. Great news, the 2020 Scrum Guide completely handles this unification problem that's been a challenge in the past with Scrum. What do I mean? All right, here's what happened. In the past, you had a Scrum Master, you had a product owner, and then you had a development team. What would happen? The product owner would say one thing, the development team would want to make the product owner happy, so they'd say yes, but then the Scrum Master would end up stepping in and saying, whoa, hold on there. You guys aren't really doing Scrum. You know, there isn't a negotiation. You're just saying yes without, really doing any sort of exploration on the story. You don't know really what it is, and we've already started the sprint, and you want to pull it in and just say yes. I would have to advise against that as your Scrum Master. And then what invariably will happen is all the dev team wants to get it done because they want to, meet the expectations of the product owner. And the product owner has made a promise to somebody else up the management food chain that they said, oh yeah, we'll pull it in. We'll get it done. No problem. Now, you can do it, right? You can pull it in, but you need to completely renegotiate everything that's going on in the sprint. You need to almost like pull the plug, cancel the sprint, and then start a new one immediately, right? And then do planning and then start the sprint. And that's what you should do in Scrum, right? Scrum teams should not be locked into some sort of cadence where they're all doing everything exactly at the same time, right? You don't need 5 Scrum teams all starting their sprint on the same day and ending their sprint on the same day, and then all of them having the same duration of a sprint. You don't need that. That's not Scrum. You don't have to. That's somebody's idea of what Scrum should or could be, but it's not necessary. You don't have to do that to Scrum. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if you are insisting on those things, you ain't doing Scrum, right? You know why? Because you're not listening to your team. And I bet you that your team is going to tell you that they need longer than 2 weeks. Let's do a 3-week sprint. Can't get management to agree with it. Don't matter. Management don't decide how the team is managed. Why? The team is self-managed, right? Here's another thing. They've removed this idea of organization, made the team self-managing. Bam, bam, bam. Goodbye, upper management. Hello, we be managing. You know what I'm saying? All about empowering the team. The next thing, this is the big thing. The big thing. You can tell I'm excited, right? You can tell I'm excited. The big thing. Scrum Master is now leader, just an agile leader, Scrum leader. And I say just because as a Scrum Master, they've been throwing this whole servant leadership into the mix. And you know what happens when someone says servant? They think subservient, and they start saying Scrum Master gonna do, Scrum Master gonna do. You know what? Boom! No more servant leader, true leadership. but we know how to lead through example. And that's what we do. And that's simply what servant leadership means. It means not having to hear from the team that they need something, being able to anticipate their needs best I can, absolutely, as a Scrum Master. And that's what I do. And that's how I empower my team. I love, oh, my heart beats so hard for the fact that they removed that silly term of servant leader. It was about time. It was getting abused. It was getting leveraged in something that's called dark Scrum or dark Agile. You've all seen it. You've all been part of it. What is it? It's, oh, we're just going to carry this story forward. Dark Agile, mother. It was really, the idea was to share and inspire and to enlighten and to delight people with the state of technology of what you could actually do today. And it was all in one space at one time, and it was friggin' amazing. All right? How does this tie back to Scrum? The Scrum process is absolutely amazing, and I would have never been able to facilitate that amazing experience if I didn't use all the Scrum principles. We had our product backlog. That was the festival. Every week we would get together and we would see, what we've accomplished and what we still need to do. And then we had an amazing team of very talented and focused individuals that we trusted to get the work done. That's another tentpole of a successful Scrum project is trust. You need to completely trust the people that are doing the work to do the best job, and then you just let them go. You know why we were able to do so much in so little time? Because I let them do it the way that they wanted to do it. I didn't check in with them. I didn't ask them how they're doing. I didn't look over their shoulder and make sure that they were doing everything right. All I cared about was the end result. Just as a product owner, shouldn't be in the daily Scrum looking at things that's happening every day. You don't need to be in the kitchen. You just want to enjoy the meal, that's the thing. It's like you don't want to be in the kitchen. You just want to enjoy the meal. But so many people get hung up on ooh, how is this going to save me money? Ooh, how is this going to make things faster? Look, get the hell out of the kitchen. You don't belong in the kitchen, and you're just screwing up the omelets. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Scrum is amazing for everything. You don't just have to use it professionally. You can use it personally. You can man, I got some PTSD I want to get over. Stick it in the product backlog. You are the product backlog. And today is your sprint, Maybe it's the week is the sprint, and then today you do your stand-up with yourself, and you see what you want to get done in the next 24 hours, and you see if that matches, your week's goal or, your personal goal, and that's how you can use Scrum simply in your daily life. Yeah, it's really amazing. It's really fantastic. And I encourage you to look into Scrum, look into scrum.org, look into all the different aspects of it, see what excites you about radical change, self-transformation. Dive in, and I promise you that if you enact Scrum in your professional life, you're going to want to do it in your personal life, and you're going to see yourself being able to do 10 times the amount of stuff that you used to do, because you're not doing the nonsense. You've focused in on what matters. You've cut out the gobbledygook, and you're going for the kernel of the nugget of what needs to be happening right now. Rinse and repeat. Man, thank you for listening. I hope that this wasn't too intense. I'm sure I started low and ended woohoo, and that's fine, man. I love you. Be your best self and know that life is awesome. Just hold on. Hold on for the ride, and everything's going to be fine. Amen. Peace.